Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, I am your host, Mrs. M, and I am so excited to have Isaiah Swift here again with me. This is the second time we interview. He is doing some outstanding, fun things. So we're just going to do an informal interview. And the reason why we do this is to let you know where you can actually grow. So Isaiah is doing well enough now where he's kind of looking at maybe he wants to do this seriously, because he's not really devoted the time that I know he would love to, and he's been able to do all of this. So I'm so excited to introduce Isaiah Swift. We're going to do a very informal interview. I interviewed him before. He had won his first contract. Now he's won several, and he just won a 5-year contract that we're so excited about. So when you're looking at doing what? Scaling to 6 figures and beyond. Pow! This is exactly what you need to do. So Isaiah, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. M. Thank you for having me again. I really appreciate it.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
you.
So tell me what's been going on since I know we last interviewed, and now you just told me I just found out you won a 5-year contract. So tell me a little about what's going on.
Yes, so my business has expanded. I'm the owner of Simra Cleaning Services, LLC. And since we last talked, I was really just, as I was a teacher and then I had the summer off. And so I made a decision during the summer, I was going to go all in on my contracting business and just capitalizing on a lot of the opportunities that are out there on Sam.Gov. And I came across this opportunity for dry cleaning services, and I applied. I utilized usaspending.gov to go and see the previous contract or previous year award amounts.
Okay.
And then I used that data and information to come up with a estimate of how I should go about pricing my quote. And then I got in contact with the contracting officer, and he was also able to provide me information on the previous incumbent. And I submitted the bid and everything. I got my quotes together. And I will say one thing that I think helped me with this particular solicitation was I actually created another capability statement. So the
Wow.
capability statement that I have been using previously for janitorial services, now I have, I'm realizing that if you're going to expand your business, you need to have more than one.
Oh, yes.
And
So you want to have one tailored for janitorial and then one tailored for products, like if you're doing a product, but absolutely, because they want to feel like they are your customer. They don't want it to be
right.
a broad brush across. So that's something that's definitely important.
Yeah, and so I submitted it. I had no idea or didn't think I was gonna win. And then I got the email that I have been notified to move forward with the process. So I'm super excited. It was 5 years for on base.
Oh, I am so happy for you. So you're
Thank
even
you.
looking at maybe if things go well, for one, you realize this can be a real serious business. You're
Yes.
able to do things that while you're working a 9 to 5, you're learning more, you're utilizing the tools, usaspending.gov, you're utilizing fpds.gov, you're realizing there's a lot of money out there, but it's like a puzzle. You have to put the pieces together, and you realize I want to branch out from just janitorial. And in order to do that, I need to make sure that it doesn't seem like I'm just doing a one size fits all. That
Right.
there, like I've said, we had like 4 capability statements. So it felt like the contracting officer felt like we were talking to them.
Right.
So I am so excited. So how much time would you say you spend looking and landing? Would you say you spend like a total of in a week 5 hours, or what would you say when you're able to devote the time to it?
I at least try to allocate 1 to 2 days per week just to go on sam.gov and gather as much information as I can and reach out to subcontractors. So I try to do it at the same time, and I'm a little bit more organized that way versus like going up there every single day because it's constantly being updated. So I just try to delegate my time and spend about 1 or 2 days per week.
Wow. And so you reach out to the subs, and you were spending like 1 or 2, so you get cumulative data instead of looking every day. You might have 5 or 6 opportunities. And so do you find yourself kind of going in a direction where you're like, you know what, I like these bids better, I like products better? You didn't mention using a bid platform, so Sam's is working for you. You don't really have a paid bid platform that you're using?
I'm utilizing sam.gov, and one of the things that my the Ozzy helped me with was when you're going and searching for opportunities, just narrow it down by the different NAICS codes. So if you have the janitorial, just focus on the janitorial NAICS code, and then you can break it up by what set aside you have, and that kind of just helps me focus on. I focus on individual NAICS scores at a time versus just sometimes when you don't have any of the filters applied and 4 million opportunities pop up, it's a little confusing. You're trying to tackle
Overwhelming. It's
everything,
yeah.
so
And it's so interesting that the thing about life, and especially in government and all these different business opportunities, is you have to narrow your focus down.
right.
People think, so you got to really focus on something. And that's one of the things that, when we talk about that, that helps a lot. Because I know when you first got started, you had just won that first contract. And now it hasn't even been a year, because I think you graduated with our course, and within a couple of weeks you found something, and you've been finding something like 4 and 5 contracts. So what would you say? Is it the fact that you are just determined, that you've got a schedule? What would you say has made you really successful at this?
I would say really your course, going and
Oh,
reviewing the
thank you.
information over and over again and just, regurgitating it and keeping it fresh on top of your mind. And one of the things I learned from your course is reach out to the OSDBU, because
Mm-hmm.
that is a free resource where you can talk to small business specialists. And I've signed up for plenty vendor day events where you can just interact
Mm-hmm.
with procurement officers and get information about their forecast opportunities.
That's
And
the key.
once you're in the loop and you start meeting more people, it's definitely helped me build my confidence, and this definitely made me feel more comfortable about looking for opportunities now that I have multiple relationships and people I can call.
And one of the other things you said is, when the beginning, you were talking about how the language, when you start getting into the government world, you have to learn the language.
Yeah.
You start to learn, you meet people, Ozabus. I've talked about Ozabus all the time. Get to know your Ozabus. That's what they're there for, your procurement center representative. These are the tools that really make a difference. That's the thing. People don't realize, they think it's really, I meet people and they say, I haven't won a contract in 10 years, 5 years, whatever. It's because there's certain things that work, and once you learn the key element, you keep implementing, you learn that, and then you grow. But relationships in government are everything,
Right.
and the Ozabus are there to help you, because that's what they love doing. And if you give them a problem, and they will look to solve it, but you've got to bring them something. Well, Isaiah, how many contracts have you won so far? Has it been 6?
I won a total of 5.
I wanted 5 contracts. And
Yes.
you just got started in when?
I
When
won
did
my
you
first
really
contract in March of
March
this
of
year,
this year?
2023. Yes.
Oh my God, I am so proud of you. You won your first contract in March. You're not afraid to go out there. You use the tools that you've learned, FPDS, usaspending.gov. It's like a puzzle. Is it not like a
Right.
puzzle? And you've got to put the pieces together, and you've got to set a time aside to do your due diligence. You know that 1 or 2 days works for you. You're going back to look at being a teacher again, but now you may look at doing this because you spent the summer when you were off and teaching, which is your job that you do during the school year.
Right.
Now you might look at doing this full time and realize this is serious. This can really be a life changer, a game changer. This can really change your life. So I am so glad you were able to give the tips. We're looking at you now moving towards doing GSA contracts, which we're going to talk about, and you're going to join us on that. And I know that when I interview you, probably in another couple of months, 6 months, I am going to have so many other things.
Thank
I'm going
you.
like, oh my God, congratulations. I am so proud of you, Isaiah. And I couldn't say you've been such an ideal student. You are so polite, and you're just really, really great. I mean, really, really good. I don't say that to everyone. I do a lot of interviews, and I don't say that because I knew you were determined and you were going to put the time in. And now you've got kind of like a schedule, and
Mhm.
you look at, and the other thing I really think you're going to be good at is the middleman. I believe you're going to end up doing more middleman contracts, which is what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of your contracts, have you done any performing on the contracts at all? Or have you done all, just won the contracts and someone else has done the work?
Yeah, I've always middleman because they're in other states, and that's the best good thing about it. I don't have to do any labor.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That middleman. Now look at that. He found the contract. He gets really good at learning more and more about how to find the contracts. He then knows, now he learns how to vet so that he gets the great, great, great subcontractors to do the work. He puts the two together, and this is the middleman at its finest. So would you not say it is a great thing to be able to get work in and be able to have someone else do it?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I know. So I am so proud of you, Isaiah. I'm going to end with that note. I know some more great things are going to come your way. And he started with the interest of reaching out to us on Facebook, and then he went to our Crack the Gov code course. And now he's moving on and just doing some great things. So I couldn't say I'm more proud of you. And you're putting the work in. This is all you. We give you the tools. You know how to use them. So I'm so glad, and it does work. It
Yeah.
works. That's why when people realize he started this process in March and he's on contract number 5, and this is just the beginning. When I interview him again, he's going to have a team of 12 or 13 people. He'll have people writing proposals and cranking them out every day. I see it coming.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
I appreciate it.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.